Standing in front of this ranch style home, this is the most desirable style of home for putting on a second story addition or back addition. You can easily take this 1,200 square foot home and increase that square foot to 3,000 square feet by putting on a small back addition and a second story. This home also has a full basement, making it even more desirable to add a second floor. This home sits on a corner lot here, so remember, thinking in terms when you're running your ARV, corner lots can be a little bit of a negative because they typically lack a little bit of privacy. So let's go in this ranch style home, and this property was actually renovated, so this will give you guys a feel for what the floor plan and the concepts are. So you come in the front door, and immediately we can see that we have an open floor plan right here. Kitchen, dining room, living room, beautiful fireplace. I'll kind of pan around so that you guys can see what we're working with. Now again, most ranch homes are not going to be this open unless you take down some walls. You can see that we've got a header right there. That was a wall that was dividing the kitchen. I believe there was another wall going off of that. I don't remember the exact layout of this property. Going to the bedrooms, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property with a master. So we've got 1 bedroom right there, one of the bathrooms. Also, we want to stay aware of bedroom and bathroom sizes. These bedrooms are, I would say, standard for this 1,200 square foot home. This is the master with the attached bath. Now the bath on this property is a little bit smaller. However, the finishes make this home very desirable. Also, it's located in Downers Grove, so great school districts. The best feature about this property, hands down, is going to be the basement. And the basement in this case is a full basement. Ranches can be built on a slab, which means that it just sits on a pad of concrete, or they can have partial or full basements. In this case, we have a full basement, so very large. I'll kind of give you guys a good angle of this. So when I say full, that means that the footprint of the first floor is the exact same in the basement. Come around here, we've got a little, if they want to make that a little theater room or a sitting area, and then we can come over here into our utility room, which even the utility room is generous in size. Utility room is going to have the furnace, hot water tank, washer and dryer, slop sink. And behind this door we have the sump pump. So in this case, this property has a sump pump. It's a little dark in there. Perfect. Now what we can see, I wanted to show you guys this because what we can see is the foundation is concrete from floor to ceiling. So again, making this property even more desirable because of the way it was built. It was built in the 1950s, and that's pretty typical for the construction to be concrete, to have a concrete foundation. Different from a cinder block or a telephone tile. So again, very desirable. We have the sump pump, which means we have drain tiles that run on the perimeter of the exterior of the home, making sure that this basement never ever gets any water. As we stand here in the entryway, I want to point out one important factor when opening up the floor plan in a confined or compartmentalized ranch style home. Now the floor joists and the ceiling joists are going to run the shortest distance, meaning that they are going to run along that back wall and all the way behind me, which means that any wall that runs opposite of the floor joists or ceiling joists are going to be a load-bearing wall. Now you can take that wall down, but you have to put a header or some type of supporting beam depending on the span. In this case, we put a header that spans from the refrigerator all the way over to the fireplace wall. Any wall that runs opposite of this header is not a load-bearing wall and can be taken down for little to no money at all. So quick wrap up here in the basement. Things that we want to look at is we want to make sure we're taking measurements of the ceiling height. We want to take note that is the basement full or partial. We want to take note of what is the foundation made up of. In this case, it is concrete, which is very desirable if you want to put on a second story onto this property. And the last thing we want to look for is there a sump pump and is there an ejector pit? I explained a little bit about the sump pump. In this case, this property does have a sump pump. The sump pump is going to pump out all the clean water. So that's going to be all the groundwater that collects on the exterior of the home. It channels right into the sump pump, then it pumps it out. An ejector pit would pump out any dirty water. So if you had a bathroom down here, or if you didn't have a bathroom down here and you wanted to put one down here, you would have to put an ejector pit. Now the cost of an ejector pit is going to be roughly $2,000 to $3,000. They're going to have to trench out the floor. Again, that cost is going to be dependent on how far away it is from your bathroom. There's a couple other variables in there, but that's a good price range to use.